So this is everything that you need to know about today's CPI data report. What's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechWood Solutions. Quick little update. Also, Airbnb just reported earnings. It gapped up about 12 to 13% and quickly gave it all back. Almost break even right now, so just a little update on that. But the overall NASDAQ market, the day is already over, and we saw a lot of selling pressure that happened shortly after the CPI data report came out. We tried to recover, but it's very easy to see that there was still a consistent descending pattern. You kind of have to slow down and look at the larger time frames. There's still lower highs, lower lows, trading below the moving average, so I wouldn't be surprised if this even follows into tomorrow. You might be asking, well, Ricky, why? Why is it going to continue to sell off? Very simple. The CPI data report that was released was not good. Very, very simple. The expectation was 2.9% inflation. That was the forecast from investing.com and that the market was expecting. We came in at 3.1%, which supports the case that inflation is still sticky and is not going down as expected. Core CPI came in at 3.9%, which core CPI is all items less food and energy. And let me make it very simple for you to understand. We just added the new month of January of 2024 and removed the old month of January of 2023. So by taking away a 0.5% increase and then adding a 0.3% increase, we were simply expecting a less of an increase in January of 2024. I think the market's expectation was a 0.2% increase, not a 0.3. So at the end of it, does this justify the market selling off? Yes. Does it mean that it's the end of the world and that everything is going to crash? No, but let me explain. Jerome Powell has said this many times, and please do your own due diligence. Jerome Powell has stated that the stock market gets ahead of itself even before the Federal Reserve is ready to do anything. And what is everything that the stock market has been preparing for? Rate cuts. But with inflation showing that it's still sticky and coming in higher than what is expected, does not support any rate cuts, and that shows that inflation is still here and that inflation might still be rising. So this is why we're correcting ourselves. I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise. The NASDAQ market was at all-time highs yesterday. So yes, we did pull on back, and rightfully so, because the stock market got ahead of itself. Now we'll see. Will this be a turning point for the NASDAQ market? That means that we would really need to trade below the moving average, which we're far from that. But can this be a turning point, right? Earnings were fine, but now economic data, this inflation report, is supporting the case that inflation is still not going away. And does this mean that the Federal Reserve can maybe justify a rate hike instead of a rate cut? Remember, BlackRock expects about 4 to 5 rate cuts by the end of 2024. But as of right now, based off of how things are looking with this economic data from the CPI data report, it does not support that case. I also wanted to share with you what line items saw the biggest increase and saw the biggest decrease in the month of January. And the biggest decrease that we saw was fuel oil. We saw a decrease of 4.5%. And then the biggest jump that we saw was a 2% jump, and that was utility piped gas services. I want to remind you, I don't need you to depend on these reports for me to show them and break them down to you. I went live when this report was being released. Thank you to everyone that tuned on in. But if you want access to where this report gets released, it's bls.gov/CPI. It's free and available to the public. You click on the PDF and then it pops it up for you. You just need to understand how to read it. I would encourage you, if you haven't already, watch today's earlier live stream that breaks it down on how we summarize the CPI data report. So overall, very exciting. NASDAQ market is still bullish. We're still holding above the moving average, and we're still showing signs of an ascending support and ascending higher highs. That's great, but we cannot be surprised when moments like this happen that the market pulls on back and everyone's freaking out. What do you think is going to happen? That the market's going to continue to rise forever without any form of correction? No, just like anything, even if the market's not going to crash, it has to correct itself to some degree before it continues. And that's essentially what we're experiencing as of right now. I also had a lot of fun shorting ticker symbol ARM, and that was caught within my live trading session today with the LPP team, and I made about $4,300 today just on that alone. I also had some fun shorting coin, but we'll leave that for another one. $52,000. I really do appreciate you guys' time. Again, I trade live every single morning. I do not tell our beginner traders where to buy or where to sell, but just like myself, I learned so much better by watching other people do. So if you think that it would be of value for you to be able to watch me trade live every morning, then I would encourage you to take 2 minutes, click the second link in the description down below, learn a little bit more about our LPP team, and see if it's a good fit for you. We're running our 50% off discount right now, so if you sign up by today, you can watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow by the time the market opens. I hope that it earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, and if you have any questions, comment down below. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.